Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. This is Isaiah 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away. And the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up, and the reeds and the flags shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers also shall mourn. All they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they shall spread their nets upon the waters, and shall languish. Moreover, they that work in the fine flax, and they that weave networks, shall be confounded, and they shall be broken, and the purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. Surely the princes of Zon are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts has proposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zon are become fools. The princes of Note are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or the tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be likened to women, and it shall be afraid and feared because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Every one that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. And in that day there shall be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And it shall be for a sign and a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior, and a great one, and he shall deliver them. And the Lord shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know the Lord in that day, and shall do sacrifice and oblation. Yea, they shall vow a vow unto the Lord, and perform it. And the Lord shall smite Egypt, he shall smite and heal it, and they shall return even to the Lord, and he shall be entreated of them, and shall heal them. And in that day there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. And in that day Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, Blessed be Egypt my people, and Assyria the work of my hands, and Israel mine inheritance. Now this is Isaiah chapter 20. In that year that Tartan came unto Ashdod, when Sargon the king of Assyria sent him, and fought against Ashdod, and took it. At the same time spake the Lord by Isaiah the son of Amos, saying, Go and loose the sackcloth from thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. And the Lord said, Like as my servant Isaiah hath walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and wonder upon Egypt and upon Ethiopia, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. And they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, and of Egypt their glory. And the inhabitant of this isle shall say in that day, Behold, such is our expectation. Whether we flee for help to be delivered upon the king of Assyria, and how shall we escape? Okay, in 663 BC, Thebes, Egypt, was taken by the Assyrians. 663 BC. And this is Isaiah 22, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with thy robe, and strengthen him with thy girdle. And I will commit thy government into his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judea. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and no more shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place. And he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house. And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue, and all vessels of small quantity, from the vessels of cups, even to all the vessels of flagons. And in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed, and be cut down and fall, and that burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Lord has spoken it. Now this is Isaiah chapter 23. The burden of Tyre. Howl, ye ships of Tarshish, for it is laid waste, so there is no house, no internet. From the land of Chittim it is revealed to them. Be still, ye inhabitants of the isle, thou whom the merchants of Zidon that pass over the sea have replenished, and by the great waters the seed of Sihor. The harvest of the river is her revenue, and she is a mart of nations. Be thou ashamed, O Zidon, for the sea has spoken, even the strength of the sea, saying, I travailed not, nor bring forth children, neither do I nourish up young men, nor bring up virgins. As a report concerning Egypt, so shall they be sorely pained at the report of Tyre. Tyre was a little rock island off in the edge of the Mediterranean Sea where the pirates hung out. The king of Tyre, Satan, will turn to ashes from it within. That's Ezekiel 28:18. So God's judged Satan to that lake of fire. Tyre means rock in the Hebrew. So Satan's been judged to the lake of fire, and he's the only one that's been judged to the lake of fire so far. Now this is Isaiah chapter 23, verse 6. Pass ye over to Tarshish, howl you inhabitants of the isle. Is this your joyous city, whose antiquity is in ancient days? Her own feet shall